Hello everyone, welcome back to Vanya Between Pages. Grab a snack and let's get into today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about every single series I'm in the middle of. And this is a video I've been wanting to film for so long because I love series and I love talking about series of books. I think I like them better than just reading standalone novels because I love getting into the story and getting to know more and more characters as I read. And I don't know, it's just so rewarding to finish a long series, and that's something I've been doing since I started reading. These are not every series I'm gonna talk to you guys about because I have some of them that I'm missing a physical copy of. This should be a fun video, so let's get into it. First series I'm in the middle of is one that I most definitely DNF'd. I didn't like the first book, and I'm talking about the Dream Harbor series, starting with The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. Now, the thing with this book, it was really, really popular, especially on TikTok when it came out because of the cover. It's a beautiful cover, and every single book in the series has a even more beautiful cover. And the titles of the books are like really, really cozy. Like this is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. The second one is called The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Then the third one's called The Christmas Tree Farm. It's like really, really cozy, especially for the fall. But the thing with this book is I did not like the writing style at all. It was really, really bad. And also the characters, they all felt like the same. It was like the only change in each character was the name because there was like not a single attribute that like made a character different from one another. And that's something I really, really hated. The male character was not at all interesting. The female character was like really cringy, and I just didn't really care for the characters. So I'm not continuing the series, and I'm not gonna buy any more books in this universe. Second series I'm in the middle of, I'm still debating on whether or not I want to read it. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. When the movie came out, I wanted to watch it so bad, but I had to read the book first. So I bought it and I read it, and I was so misguided by the cover because it says, "From behind closed doors, she sees everything." She doesn't see a single thing. This book is like so misleading. It's not at all what you're expecting. It's not bad. It was a really fun read. I had a good time. But again, the writing style was just way too simple for me. I didn't really like the characters. I was like, what are you doing? And I don't know if I want to keep reading it. Maybe because it's like really easy to read. You read it in a sitting, but at the same time I'm just like not interested as to what's gonna happen next. And there's like three other books or maybe two other books in one short story, and I don't see how this story could like go on or what could happen next. Like I'm done with the character, so I don't know. But yeah, let me guys know if you have read this, if you have read the whole series, if you recommend it or not. I will be reading the comments. Now, this series is called the Hollywood series. The thing with these books is I think they're interconnected standalones. Yeah, I read the first one and I really, really liked it. So I guess I will read the second one. Just like it's not one of my priorities right now. But the first one was really, really good and I 100% recommend. And the first book is For Butter or Worse. I love books in which the characters are chefs because I just love cooking. And in here, both characters are like involved in the cooking industry and there's a TV show involved, and it was just such a fun read, really easy. You read in like 3 hours. The romance is really good. It's kind of like an enemies to lovers, but they're not really enemies. um but it's still fun to read. I love the cover. It's a short book. It's like 300 and something pages. Yeah, 361 pages. And I don't really hear people talking about this series. The second book is called The Plot Twist, I think, or something like that. But it's really worth the read. I don't think you would regret it if you buy it. It's not the best book I've ever read, but it's still pretty good and it's a solid romance. So definitely recommend. Check this out. This next series is extremely, extremely popular on Book Talk, and that's the reason why I started it. And I'm talking about the Addicted slash Calloway Sister series. The thing is, this is not a 5-star read. I really, really liked it. And I want to keep reading the series. I need to read the second one. And every single time I go to the bookstore to buy it, I just end up buying a different book. And I don't understand why, because I really, really, really want to read it. But there's something that's keeping me away from it. But I will for sure read it this year. And hopefully in July, it's part of my July TBR. But yeah, I will definitely be continuing the series. It's such a fun time, and I'm pretty sure this can get like deeper as the books go on. There's so many books. There's at least five others, and this is like really wholesome. It's two big families. Well, there's one big family, and well, a lot of love interests for each sister. This is about millionaires. There's a lot of partying. There's a lot of fun stuff. It's like really interesting to read. You could read this in the beach in summer, and it's gonna be a great time. I had a great time reading it, so I definitely want to keep reading this. But yeah, 100% recommend. Definitely check the trigger warnings though, and the age to read it. I wouldn't read this if I was like. I think it should be like 18 plus, but this is a good time if you check the trigger warnings. Next up, we have the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is really YA. It's about a group of teenagers with like some powers or like some special abilities, and the FBI hires them to help them solve cold cases. It is really easy to read, really short. You read in a sitting. I read in a sitting in like one single day. And there's three other books, if I'm not wrong, and one short story. I'm definitely gonna finish this. It was a great read for me, great time, good story. Not the greatest writing style, but for sure it was like fun. And yes, I think this is a really good palette cleanser in between like fantasy books or like more complicated books you're reading. So I do recommend this if you're like looking for something to read in the summer and you don't want to take things too serious. This is a good one. And I also want to read The Inheritance Games by the same author. That is really really popular, and it's a even longer series, but I'm fine with that. I love series. But yeah, definitely recommend read this, check this out, especially if you like YA. This is really YA. Next up, we have a series that I've been wanting to read for so long. I watched the movie first when it came out. I think it was like 20, maybe 2016, 17, 18, around those times. And I watched the movie first, and since the moment I watched it, I wanted to read the book. I finally read it, and I really really enjoyed it. I'm talking about The Darkest Minds. This book is really good. In the movie, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I think it's really really good. Like there's so many scenes in the movie that happen in the book, and every single character is like really well developed, and it's a really good adaptation. I don't know why I've heard that people don't really enjoy it, but I think it generally is well done. And the actors are great. We have our main character. She's the girl that played Rue in the Hunger Games. So I really enjoyed this. I'm so mad because there wasn't enough budget to make a second movie or a third movie and fourth, like to adapt every single book. But I definitely want to keep reading this series. I want to know what happens. And this book has such a good premise. It's about like some sickness or illness that goes around, and the kids that survive develop different powers. And we have like a chain of powers from like least dangerous to worst dangerous. And some kids are like extremely intelligent, and like some kids have like control over fire or control over minds. This is a really interesting dystopian novel. And yeah, 100% recommend. This is really famous, but I don't know why like people don't really read it. This was a good read for me. I recommend. And yes, it's a long book, but it's worth it, I think. But yeah, I need to read the second book soon. Next up, we have the Hearts of New York series by Kara Bastone. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but this again is interconnected standalones. I've only read this one. I think there's two other books, all set in New York, as you can tell by the title of the series. This one's called Ready or Not. It's about like an unplanned pregnancy, and there is a love story. This is a really good book. I wasn't a huge fan of the writing style because I just particularly don't like first person. But as I was reading it, it got through me, and I really enjoyed it. The characters were sweet, the romance was cute, and this is a good time. It's not my favorite series at all, not my favorite romance, but it was a really good time, and I love the cover. And I'm just not one who reads unplanned pregnancies, but this was actually pretty good. Like, I would say this is worth it if you want to read something like, like coming of age, something set in New York, something for the summer. I think this is a solid option you guys can read. Next up, we're gonna get into the bread and butter. I love this series. This, I would say, and I haven't finished it, I'm 2 books in, but I would say this is my favorite series of all time. And of course, I'm talking about the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I'm a huge fan of the Cosmere as a whole. I read Mistborn series, Elantris, Warbreaker. I've read a lot of short stories. Well, not a lot, but I'm like following the chronological order. So I've read The Emperor's Soul, Mistborn Secret History, um, the short story in the Elantris universe. I don't really remember the name. And I've also read The 11th Metal. And I'm gonna read every. Oh, I read Crest of the Emerald Sea. I want to read every single book that this man has ever written. And there's another series by him that I'm gonna talk to you guys about later in the video. But this series, oh my god. If you enjoy fantasy, if you enjoy like high fantasy, complicated fantasy, this is for you. The books are bricks, and each book is at least 1,000 pages long. They keep getting longer and longer. This one's like 1,080 pages. The next, no, this is like 1,000 pages. The next one's 1,080 pages, and it keeps getting bigger. And I'm here for it. There's 2 novellas, and they're like 100 pages each, but it's 100% worth it. Here, you're gonna find the best characters ever written. You're gonna find the best universe, the best creatures. Everything is so interesting. The magic system is like out of this world, and I just I wish I could write like Brandon Sanderson does. I wish, and I'm so sad because I'm gonna start the 3rd book, and there's only 5 published, and the next book comes in 2031 or 2030. I think it's 2031, and I really can't wait. I can't wait. I haven't even finished it, but I'm like crashing out because what am I gonna do for the next 5 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, but it's Brandon Sanderson. He keeps writing books, and they're all so 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 good. But this one definitely has a place in my heart. And when I read Mistborn, I was saying the same thing. Like, this is the best thing I've ever read, and yes, but this too. It's so there's no way that you're not gonna enjoy Brandon Sanderson. You have to pay attention though, because this is like slow to get into it. You need at least 300 pages to understand the world, but after that you're good. Like, you're gonna love this. So I recommend this a lot, and I know I talk about this series in every single video, but it's worth it. 100% worth it. Now we're gonna get into the series I don't have a physical copy of. I had these books in my previous bookshelf in my other house, but I've read all of these and I have some opinions. The first series I have is When in Rome. I don't know if there's like a title to this, but there's different books and it follows like a set of siblings, and this all happens in the same like little town. And it's actually really interesting to read. The first one I read years ago, many years ago, but it talks about this really famous singer, and her car breaks down in the middle of Kentucky, if I'm not wrong, and there she meets a baker, and it's such a cute, cute, cute romance. I really enjoy this, and I am gonna continue this for sure. I would have to reread the first one just to remember the characters and the sister, because I'm sure the next book is about the sister. This is really, really cute. I really recommend. These are really easy to read books, again, for the summer, or if you're looking for like cutesy little romance, this is perfect for you. So I am going to be continuing this pretty soon. Next up, we have One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. Now, the thing with this, I've read so many books by her, but I'm not a huge fan of the last book she's been writing. But the thing with this is, One of Us is Lying is like the 3rd book I read by her, but it was her first book published. So I understood why I didn't really like it. I didn't enjoy the characters. I didn't enjoy the mystery, but I thought it was because it was like the first book she ever published. But then I read the second one and it was even worse. So I definitely don't think I'm gonna keep reading this series, even though I'm only missing one last book. But I genuinely don't understand what else she could talk about. I don't want to know what happens next. Nothing should happen next. Like, the mystery was solved. I understood where the second book was coming from, but a third one, that's a stretch. So I definitely don't think I'm gonna read this. But I definitely like Karen and McManus. I read The Cousins and it was really good. But yeah, this series is just not for me. I watched the show, it was okay. I think it was definitely better than the book. But yeah, that's it for me with this series. This next series is 3 books, and it's of course by Brendan Sanderson, and I'm talking about The Reckoners. Now, the thing with this series, this is not part of the Cosmere. This is completely different, and it's the first book I read by Brendan Sanderson ever. But I remember that when I read it, I gave it 3 stars. I wasn't a huge fan, but I read it in Spanish. So I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna reread it in English, and I'm gonna finish this series because it's Brandon Sanderson. And my plan in life is to read every single book he's ever written and he will ever write. So yes, I'm gonna be rereading the first book, Steelheart, and I'm gonna read the whole series. And this has a really interesting premise. It's about like something happens, we don't know why. I think, and some humans get superpowers, and instead of becoming heroes they become the villains. So there's this group of people that want to like destroy the heroes and get rid of them, and this is really interesting. I love how Brandon Sanderson like uses themes that are common, but there's a twist to them, and it's like his own little story. And that's why I love Brandon Sanderson. He's such a good writer. So yes, I'm gonna be reading this pretty soon. Next up, we have Warcross by Mary Lou. This is a duology, it's only 2 books. And I read the first one and I couldn't find the second one, so I never read it. But the first one was a 5-star read for me. I loved all the characters, I loved the premise, I loved the setting, the world, the fact that it's set in Japan. And I've never read something set in Japan. And it was so interesting. Also, there was a lot of video games, and this whole book is set in a video game almost, like kinda, because our main character is a hacker. So yeah, this was a 5-star read for me. Really great characters. I love Mary Lou. I want to read Legend by her, and I want to read every single thing she's ever written too. She's a good author. But yeah, I'm gonna be rereading the first one for sure and reading the second one because it's 2 books. Like, it's so easy. I love this. Okay, next up, it's the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. Now, I read every single main story. Like, I've read Twilight, New Moon, uh, and the other 2. And I've watched all the movies, of course. Love this. This was a huge part of me when I was growing up. And like, my room was full of posters with Edward Cullen. But, anyways, I haven't read the novella or short story, the one with like the second, I think it's called The Second Life of Tanner or something. And I haven't read the book that is like a reimagining of Twilight, and Edward is like Bella and Bella is Edward, basically. Or like every single male character is now a female. That one I haven't read, and I honestly I don't think I will ever read. Because, oh, I also read the other book, like the book that's Twilight from Edward's perspective. I read that. It was such a long book. And yeah, I just know if I read them now, I won't like them as much. And I don't want to mess up my memory of these series. I love the movies. I still watch them. And they're so cringy, but I just love them. I feel like everyone has read Twilight. And yeah, I think I've had enough. I don't think I will read the next, like the other books. But it's a good time. It's a fun little read. And yeah, it's like a huge part of like human history. Of course, I'm joking, but like it's a good part in like YA literature. So yeah. Next up, we have Divergent by Veronica Roth. I read Divergent, Insurgent, and I don't remember the title of the third one, but I've read all of them. There's a short story or a novella, I don't know. It's called Four, And Veronica Roth announced that she's coming with a new book in this series, and I don't know if I will read them. I liked Divergent. I loved the first book. The second one was good as well, but I didn't like the ending. So I don't know if I want to read four, and I don't know if I want to read this other story that she's coming up with. I like the premise, I like the characters, but I don't know if there's more to tell in this story. I would love for her to like write a new story, a new dystopian world, just not Divergent anymore, because there's no more to tell. Like I guess you could like read about like what happens after the events in like the last book, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of four if you have read it, and let me know if you're gonna read the next book that Veronica Roth is coming up with. I think it's called The Sixth Faction. I might be wrong, but yeah, this is like a maybe for me. I'm still not sure. And last series I'm in the middle of is called Renegades by Marissa Mayer. I read the first book and I really, really didn't like. I didn't like it at all. I gave it like 2, 3 stars, but this was a lot of years ago, and this is also about superheroes or like people with powers, and I really love those type of books or that type of story. So I really don't know if I want to reread it. Maybe I would like it better now, but I don't know. I really don't know. And I feel like these books are like so old and I haven't really heard many people talking about them. So I don't know if this is something that would be for me. I wouldn't say I want to read it like soon, but eventually maybe. But yeah, this is still a maybe for me. There's so many other stories that I want to get into, and this is just not a priority for me. I gave it a chance many years ago, and I didn't really enjoy it. But it's a maybe. It's a maybe because I enjoy superheroes. But yeah. And that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for staying till the end. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what series you're in the middle of. Also, let me know if you would like to see a vlog of me reading every single series I'm in the middle of so we can like knock this down and start new series, because I don't want to get into new series before finishing the ones I'm in the middle of. So yeah, let me guys know what you would like to watch on my channel. Again, thank you for staying. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna be seeing you soon next week with more bookish content in my next video. Bye!